Today, Nakari and we are going to build an app for managing tickets for your company. So in this case here, we are going to build the scenario for support, so customer support tickets. And we are going to build the structure, the app itself, the workflow, and a few automations to make it easier to use. So the idea here is to have an app where you can classify these tickets, and you can also take action or discuss internally or discuss with a customer if you have more questions to them. So that ideally with this template, you could replace email, messaging, or even other support software that you may use for your company. Sometimes they're not only they are much more expensive, but also you cannot change much. So here the idea is to show you the basic structure so you can customize for a company. We are going to also add a different logo, colors, a few other options also for the Kanban and for the card. And if you guys have any other questions, just send to us and we can build this live here as well. And Fernando, how do we begin to build this template?
Yeah. So first, before I start building this template, there are a few things going on here. So I'm going to explain a little bit part by part. So the idea behind this template is quite simple. It's a customer support template. So if you're familiar with support tickets, that's basically the idea. Someone sends a request, and then you have cards in a Kanban board, and then you go in a back and forth through email to solve that issue, and then you can finally close the ticket by putting it to finished. So the idea here is that you have a simple structure in the sense that it's a very easy to use structure, but there are a few automatic things going on here. So that's what I'm going to explain a little bit. So first, I'm going to show the template working so you guys can have an idea, because the idea behind this template is that you're going to do all of the interaction between the customer and your team by email. So the idea is that you're going to communicate through email, but not through the email account itself. So you're not going to have like an inbox that everyone shares or anything like that. The idea is to use gesture alone, and you can use the email feature for that. So just to show you guys what I mean, I have this test email account here. So I'm going to compose an email, and then I'm going to send an email to the support ticket email, which I'm going to explain how it works in a little bit. But let's send something like my invoice is wrong. And this is the customer. They're sending an email to your team and they say, hi, I've been overcharged. The amount is double the expected. So this is the email. I'm going to send it right here through Gmail. So this is we're simulating your customer. They're sending an email to your team. So there you go. They sent the email. So basically, all we have to do now is wait. It shouldn't take too much time, and it's going to come right here. And here you go. Here's the email. And you can see that here's the title, the subject of the email. My invoice is wrong. If I open this card, you can see that I have the initial issue in the description. I can see this through the email part, which is where we're going to to speak with the customer. But you can also see that automatically this card has been set to billing. So there, the category of the card is being automatically set, and I'm going to explain how this works a little bit later. But you can see that just by sending something related to billing, this is going to be automatically categorized as billing. And you can see the one below here that the person sent, I can't remember my login credentials, and this is going straight to support. So you can sort this out automatically. So the idea here, you can see that I sent an email and then I got an automatic response. So we received your request and our team will answer as soon as possible. And then I can just come here on the ticket itself and then send a message to the customer. So, hi, we're sending the correct invoice in a few minutes. So we're going to click reply. And then you can see that this is sending through my user, but the customer is not going to see the name of the agent that has answered. All they're going to receive is, if we come back here, you can see that we've already got the answer. So we've got from the support team, hi, and the message that I've just sent. So the idea behind this template is it's to be quite a simple template to use. Your customer sends an email. This automatically opens a ticket. It automatically categorizes these tickets by the categories that you previously set, and then you can talk to them through email directly through the card. So all the history, all the log of this back and forth is going to be on the card itself. So you can see when someone answered, you can see who answered, even though the customer itself, they're not going to see that Fernando has answered this message. Internally, you have this information, and that's quite important for a lot of reasons, right? So this is the template. And now we're going to explain a little bit how it works. So let's go over the structure, and you can see that the structure is quite simple. We have a title, which is basically the title field that every time you create a table inside Jester, it's a default field. You have the category. So let's click on edit to see. You can see that I have billing, bugs, and support. I could add more things if I wanted to. I could delete, I could change things. We're going to leave it at that. We have the description, which is going to hold the body of the email. So this is the original issue that the customer sent to you. You have an email field, which is basically the email of the customer. This is going to be used for you to be able to communicate with them. And also, if later on you want to send like a survey, if you want to reach out to them through an external means that it's not the ticket itself, you have this information as well. And we have a field for attachments, which is a file field, which is going to be used if the customer sends attachments in the email, and this is all going to be to field this field, right? So if I send like, oh, I don't know, I can't log in, and then they send a screenshot of their display, it the screenshot was going to go into this field. So also, we have a single option field for status, which is basically the columns in the Kanban board. We have new, in progress, finished. We always like to remind people of this is we're showing the template, but it's customizable, it's flexible. So if you wanted to add more columns, if you wanted to, I don't want in progress, you could just delete it or add new stuff. So this is flexible. You could adjust it to however your company would like to do this. And also we have a user field, which is basically the owner, the person that's going to be responsible for that ticket. As I said before, there's an interesting thing here is that as soon as a ticket is created, it automatically goes to a specific category. So how's this working? We can go to the automation part, and you can see that there's an automation inside this template for auto categorization. So if I click on it, you can see that I have a trigger for when a new record is created. So when a new card is created, when someone sends this email to you, do auto categorize record and card by a specific field. So you can see here that basically they're going to read the description, they're going to read the original body of the email, and then the platform itself is going to see all the categories that you have here, like billing, bug, support, or anything else that you put in this field, and it's going to decide which of these options is the better suited for the description. Of course, maybe it's AI, so maybe sometimes it gets it wrong, but you can always change it while you're reading the ticket. But like 99% of the time, it gets it right, and this helps it a little bit. So you don't have to triage first. You can always, most of the time, you can trust that it's going to go to the correct team. Okay, I just wanted to show the email part because this is something that not everyone knows how it works inside Jester. So basically, I have now the support tickets database. So it's this table, and you can see here on the left that I have this setting for table email. So if I click on this, you can see that I have it activated, and I have a few things in the settings. First of all, I have the table email, so I can decide what's the email address that's going to be where a customer has to send an email to open a ticket. So you can see here that I've set it up to support.livebuilder1 at jester.email. The part that's in purple, it's predefined. So what you can change is this left part here, and it's always going to be the part that you define dot your account's name at jester.email. So you can see here that this is where I'm sending the email to, right? You can define the sender's name. So maybe you want support team, maybe you want billing team, maybe you want like a name so it feels a little bit more personal, but you can set this up as well. And then you have to select a few fields that are going to receive the information from the email, right? So for the subject field, which is going to receive the subject of the email, I've put on the title field. For the body field, I put in description. For the attachment field, I selected this attachment, which is a files field. And for the customer email, I've set this field, which is just called email. And you can also define an auto reply text. So basically, whenever someone sends an email to this email to open a ticket, if it opens a new ticket, they're going to receive this automatic reply. So we can set this up, change it a little bit later. So this is important so people know that there's a new ticket. It's not like on a limbo. You can send the email to this address and they get a confirmation that someone is going to look into it. So basically, this is how the email feature works. You can activate it to any table inside Jester. So basically, if you wanted to have a support ticket, but you also have like an internal thing for your own team members, you could have different emails for different Kanbans, for different tables, for different parts of the platform. So basically, as soon as I set this up, I can already start sending emails and getting replies and getting answers and so on. So this is the structure. As you can see, it's quite simple. I could add more stuff. So if I need more information, I could just add new fields. Maybe I want tags, maybe I want to-dos, maybe I want new text fields. So people can say what the solution for the ticket was. So you can have this registered. But we're going to keep it simple for now. So let's start building the app itself. So let's click here on the builder bar for new smart Kanban. So this is going to create a new board for us. So it already created here. Create the app page and an example Kanban board. I'm going to call this support tickets live because I already have a support tickets Kanban. And I'm going to select an icon for it. So it could be anything like, I don't know. There. So you can select this icon and it's going to appear in the menu later on. Okay, so this Kanban board, it's basically just example test data, right? So I'm going to click on edit the Kanban, and I can call it support Kanban board. And this Kanban board, I have to select the table from which it's going to pull data, right? So if I'm creating an app page and if I'm creating a component, basically I have to set up to basically select the table from which that component is going to pull data or interact with. So in this case, it's the support tickets database. And
One
I
important
have to
thing about
select a
this
single.
one important thing about this specific example is that it's almost the same way that we use Jester at Jester, because we have our own Jester, and we have a really similar way to manage all the tickets that we have. So if you send an email to support@gestor.email, we will receive this as a ticket on your app. We could also even copy some parts that we have on the final app, but basically the structure and the way that we do this is pretty similar.
Exactly. So now we have to select a single option field for the columns of the Kanban board. So I'm going to select status. And now we have to select the fields that are going to appear on the card itself, like this cover part. So I'm with the title. I don't want to see who created that. I want to see category, not see the description. I want to see the email so I can see the customer, and I want to see the owner, which is basically the person assigned to solve that ticket. So let's click on save. And there you go. We already have the card right here. So let's create a few more things. So first of all, we're going to create a menu bar, which is basically going to make this app page into an app. You can see that it has the icon that I've selected before. So we're just going to leave it at that. And I also like to combine and use the title bar. So there's this continuation between the title of the menu bar and the top part right here. Okay, we can customize colors and logos in a little bit, but what I want to do now is to create a filter. So there are a couple of things that I'm going to adjust here. So first of all, if you look at the example that we've shown at the start of this live stream, we have this filter here in which we can search specific words, or we can select here if it's billing, if it's bugs, if it's support. So we want this search filter right here, right? So let's create a filter, and we're going to add two buttons to it. The first one is this one that we already had on our example. The button is going to be white, and it's going to be select from field. Basically, what I'm doing now is saying the options are going to be the same options as a field in a specific table. So which table is that? It's the support tickets database, and the field is this one. Okay, so as soon as I select an option, it's going to filter some component, right? So it's going to filter the Kanban board by this specific field. Just hold on. There you go. Also, I'm going to do something that I didn't do in the example, which is the owner of the ticket. So basically, I want to be able to select a specific owner. So maybe I want to select only tickets that I'm looking at right now. So this is going to let me do that. So I'm going to select user as the type of filter. And as soon as I select a user, I'm going to filter the Kanban board by the field owner. So let's do that. Let's remove the border and let's create. Okay, so there you go. Let's disable builder mode. Click on save beforehand. And you can see that I have the filter down there. Oh, it's too much down there. So let's click on edit. There you go. So you can see that I have this filter right here. And I can already use it, right? So let's select bugs. Let's select support. And it filter the Kanban board. We could also do the same thing with owner. So I'm going to select myself, and there you go. But I don't want the filter to be down here, right? So this is one of the reasons that I like to create the title bar. It's to add the filters that I create to the title bar itself. So I'm going to click on edit, and then I'm going to edit the title bar. And down here, for the search, I'm going to disable the standard search, and for the filter, I'm going to select the filter that I've just created, and you can see that it's going to vanish from down here. There you go. And it appeared up here on the top part of the Kanban, of the support app, right? So it's up here right now. We could also add more stuff, like for example, maybe I want to select an interval of dates and see all the tickets that were created on that specific time. But the idea here is to keep it simple. Okay, so it's almost done. But there's also two more things that I wanted to do, actually three. The first one is that it's already functional and I can click on owner and select myself to see only tickets that I'm assigned to. But maybe I want to do it in a way that I don't hide other tickets, but the person can open the app and see the things that are assigned to them, right? So I'm going to click on edit and I'm going to edit the Kanban board and I'm going to add a conditional card color and I'm going to say that all the cards where the owner are the logged user. So basically what I'm saying here is you're going to color the cards which I'm looking at, my user is looking at, that the owner field is my logged user. And I'm going to color them like a little bit red. So I'm just going to make it very light red and I'm going to save it. All right, there we go. So just let me remove builder mode and refresh the page. So maybe I've set this up a little bit wrong. Okay. So next thing that I want to do is maybe I don't want to assign owners manually, right? So maybe I can come here and add like Dr. Penguin is the owner for this ticket. But maybe I don't want to add this manually. And there are a couple of ways to go about doing that. You could do it maybe by the category or something like that. But let's suppose that you have a dedicated support team and you want to assign them in a queue for each one of them. So let's go back to the support tickets database and I'm going to create a new automation. Just like the one we had, which shows, which auto-categorizes the card. What I'm going to do here is auto-assign. So when a record is created, so this is my trigger, right? When a new record is created here on the support ticket database, then I can add a new action here, which is going to be let's see if I remember the name. There you go. So we have a couple of automations that could fit this case. So we have assign owner randomly from a pool of users or assign owners sequentially from a pool of users, right? So let's select sequentially so it's not entirely random. So whenever a ticket is created in this database, I'm going to update the record itself in the owner field and I'm going to select the pool of users. So let's keep things between Dr. Penguin and myself. So let's create it. And there you go. So let's create a new ticket. And let's send a new email. So we're going to send this to support. And I'm going to say app is crashing. App is crashing at random. I can't use it for more than 5 minutes. Maybe something like that. So I'm going to send it. and we just have to wait a little bit for the card to be created here. It never takes, it usually doesn't take more than like 10 seconds, but it may be a little bit slower. So there you go. So it created, we don't have the category and the owner, but as you can see, it already updated and assigned. So app is crashing, it went to bugs, and it went to myself because the previous ticket was Dr. Penguin. So you can see that not only am I doing automatically the sorting by category, we're also doing it automatically, assigning it to a pool of users as the owner. So if you have like 10 people in your support team, they're going to receive in a queue all of the tickets, so you know that they're receiving cards equally. And the last thing that I want to do here, so we already have most of everything working here, is that when I click on this card, you can see that it opens the standard panel or window inside Jester. So it works. You could use it just like it is, but it may be not the look that you're going for. Maybe there's information that you don't want to for it to be here. You want to make a more efficient use of the space that you have here, and maybe you don't need all the information that's up here, right? So one thing that we can do is we're going to create now a super form. And we're going to use the super form as the window or panel to interact with this Kanban card. So we're going to name this support ticket card form, and now we can edit it. So I'm going to name this form ticket information. We can have a description, so it's going to be this is the information from the original request. I'm going to remove the logo and the cover. You could have it, but I don't want it in this situation. And this form is going to interact with the information from the support tickets database, right? So the information that I want to see here, right, when I click on the card, is that I want the title, I want category, I want description, I want email, attachments, and owner. Basically, that's it. I don't want like when it was created or anything like that. So let's go back here, and we're going to select the fields that we want. So title, we want category, description, email, let's see, attachments, and owner. So first of all, we can rearrange this. So title and description are going to be right next to each other. Category and email are going to be, for example, we can add a block here and add them as inline. Category is going to be seen as, let's see, standard. It's going to be a drop-down list. And I think that's it. So let's see how that would look like. Yeah, this is basically how I want the ticket to look, right? For people to interact with. So let's edit the form. I have a couple of static changes. So for the title background, I want black. And also the most important part, this is not a form for creating tickets, right? Because people are going to be creating tickets by email. So we want this form to be used to update information. When I click on this card, I want to send information through this form. So I'm going to click on update record, and this is going to make it so this form is used to update information. So you can see that, for example, if I look at the card app is crashing, it's going to bring all the information from that specific card. So now we can go back to the app that we were building before. We're going to click on edit. We're going to add edits the Kanban board. And a few things that we're going to change here is that, first of all, I don't want the add card button, which are these plus icons here. I don't want for the support team to create new tickets. I only want them to respond to the tickets that the customers are creating. And
One
I'm going
thing
to
just
go.
that they could also do, they could also have a form for creation. So, for example, maybe you want to have a page for clients to send tickets. You could have both. So you could have the email version, that's one that we have built, but you could also use the form, create a public link, embed this on your tool or maybe on your website, and you could use both. In this scenario, we are just using the email, but if you want, you could have both ways to receive information. But usually, you don't want people to directly insert new tickets, as Fernando said, because probably it would just break your process. Like, I don't know, salesperson said, "Oh, the client complained about X," because you could manually add this card, but then you need to also manually add its email and so on. So it's ideally the client would start an email with this. Maybe the salesperson would start an email with this, and then you can change the email from the salesperson to the client just to make sure that they will receive the response.
Exactly. Now what I'm going to do is go here to the bottom part of the setup, the settings, and for record update form, you can see that it's following standard table rules, which basically means that it's using the standard panel of gesture. I'm going to switch this off, and then I'm going to select the form that I created, which is the support ticket card form. Select the form, and then I can add some stuff here. For example, when I click on the card, it's going to add, it's going to open in the center in a wider panel. Maybe I wanted a right panel, but you can change how it's going to open. And also, I'm going to switch on show chat and show email. So basically, I'm going to be able to use the email function from this form and also make internal comments or use the internal chat of the platform. So I'm going to click on save. I'm going to click on save here, switch off the builder mode. And now whenever I click on the card, as you can see, it's the form that we've just created. So using the same interface that we've just customized, but you can also see that I'm able to switch between the email part and the internal chat. So maybe for internal chat, you just want to register stuff. So you could have this log of things that were done with the ticket, but this is not going to the customer. Only things that are sent through the email feature are going to be sent to the customer itself. So to finalize this, I'm just going to add a few more aesthetic things, right? So basically, let's pick, for example, a company here. So let's edit the title bar, and I'm going to make it like a light gray. And I'm going to edit the menu bar, and the top part is going to have the same color. It's a light gray. But now, instead of having this written part here, which is also customizable, right? It's this part here. What I'm going to do is add a logo. So I'm going to with Verizon, just for an example sake. It's uploading the image. And if I click on save, and save as well, you can see that it has the company logo instead of having the app name, for example. So let's click on edit. Click here. Let's see. So let's make the menu, like the bottom part, a very light red, because Verizon's logo is black and red. So don't know if this is going to work all for pleasant colors, but you can also always customize this later, right? So I think that one last thing that I think it would be kind of cool to have here is, just let me change this. I didn't quite like the red part here.
You can use like a darker red.
Yeah, or yeah.
One thing that we could do here is, because people usually have lots of finished tickets, you could have an app page only with a table with finished tickets, and then you can show them how to not have the finished stage there, because you can select like which stage do you want to display on a smart Canva. And what I would do as well is maybe just add a simple indicator that counts the number of finished tickets
Yeah,
on
of
this
course.
on this like done tickets or closed tickets or something like this.
Yeah, sure. So the way I would go about building this is, let's click here on new blank app page, and we're going to name this closed tickets. So this is only like a log of all the tickets that were already finished, right? So maybe for the
A
icon, I'm
box,
going to select a okay. What?
a box. Could be an okay.
And for the components, what I'm going to do here, maybe I'll create a table, or I think table it's better. So let's go with finished requests. For the table, I'm going to see support, tickets database. I'm going to see all the information, right, because it's all relevant. And I'm only going to see information that is status is finished. Okay, so, and it's going to be read only, right? So people are not going to be able to change the information here. So there you go. And if I wanted to add, like Bruno said, an indicator for all for the number of tickets that I've already finished, I'm going to create an indicator here. Then basically I'm going to name it closed tickets. It's going to see information from the support tickets database, and it's going to count the number of records, all of them, but I'm going to add a filter to only count records with status equals to finished. So right now it's 0, and I'm going to change that. So this is the app. Let's go back to the app itself, which is this one. I'm going to just drag this to finish, right? And now I'm going to edit the menu to add the closed tickets. So if I come back here, you can see that because I finished one ticket, it's counting 1, and it's going to show here. So I just forgot to add the title bar. So let's do that now. There you go. No add record, no search. And just to finish things off, like Bruno said, we can edit the Kanban board. So it's not showing the finished stage here. So you can do this by clicking on edit and then, where is it? Change the Kanban columns. And I'm going to remove finish, remove and categorize, save. And there you go. So basically, as soon as the ticket is finished, it's going to vanish from this part of the app. It's not relevant anymore. And if you want to see what's going on, you can just click on closed tickets and it's going to appear here. Right. So I think that's it. Bruno, I don't know if you have anything else to say about this.
No, I think that's all. That's pretty useful. We basically built an entire software or application for ticket management. It's you can do much more than what we did here, but we did the structure, the data structure. We did the email part that automatically generates cards. We also did the app and interface and usability of the app. So we will also make this available on the template store, but the idea here is to give you uh, basically a tool that you can already use on a daily basis for your company, for your own use if you want to. But keep in mind that you can always change, add, not only now, but in the future as well if you want to change something. So that's all, and we will be back next week. So if you guys have any other suggestions for videos or ideas that you want us to build, we can build here. And see you soon. Bye bye.